"Soldiers come! Plenty white soldiers," shouts a Sioux rider as he charges into camp, his voice piercing the calm before 388 U.S. troops fall dead on June 25, 1876. Over 1,500 Sioux and Cheyenne warriors obliterate the 7th Cavalry, leaving 600 horses bleeding beside their riders. What drove these native fighters to turn a dusty Montana valley into a graveyard for an American army? Stick around to see. A storm brewing in the West. Step back with me to 1876 as a historian. The American West boils with tension. The U.S. government wants land and power. They break treaties with native tribes and push them hard. Over 50 agreements collapse in just 20 years, leaving the Sioux and Cheyenne with little choice but to fight. On one side, Sitting Bull unites the Sioux with his vision. Crazy Horse stands beside him, a warrior feared by soldiers across the plains. On the other side, General George Armstrong Custer commands 600 men of the 7th Cavalry. He believes victory will come fast. He is wrong. The clash at Little Bighorn on June 25th will mark a stunning native triumph, not just an American loss. Over 1,500 warriors proved their strength that day. This is their story. Quiet before the thunder. Imagine a warm summer day in June 1876. The Little Bighorn River flows gently through the Montana plains. Cheyenne Chief, Two Moon, stands by the water. He pours cool water over his horses. Their coats shine under the sun. Nearby, some of his people swim in the creek. Laughter mixes with the sound of splashing water. The camp feels alive with 2,000 Sioux and Cheyenne spread across the valley. Women cook over small fires. Children chase each other between the lodges. Over 700 tents dot the land, a temporary home for these tribes. This moment feels peaceful. It won't last. Suddenly, a Sioux horseman rides hard into the camp. His horse kicks up dust. He yells loud and clear, "Soldiers come! Plenty white soldiers!" Heads turn fast. The air grows tense. Two Moon drops his water bucket. People stop what they are doing. Within minutes, the camp changes. Men run to their horses. They tighten saddles and check ropes. Women gather children closer. Warriors grab bows, arrows, and rifles. Over 1,500 fighters start to come together. These are not just men reacting to danger. They are protectors ready to stand for their families and their land. Historical records back this up. By June 25th, the Sioux and Cheyenne have united in huge numbers. Some say as many as 1,800 warriors join the fight that day. They come from different bands, like the Lakota, Northern Cheyenne, and Arapaho. Sitting Bull has called them here. His vision promises a great victory. The U.S. government has pushed them too far. Gold miners flood the Black Hills, breaking the 1868 treaty. Over 10,000 settlers trespass on native land in just 2 years. The tribes have lost patience. This camp is not just a gathering. It is a fortress of resolve. They know soldiers are close. They hear rumors of the 7th Cavalry, about 600 strong, moving down the valley. The native people brace themselves. They will defend everything they hold dear. The fight ignites. The battle starts on June 25, 1876, with a sharp crack of gunfire. Custer's 7th Cavalry, 600 men strong, moves forward across the Montana plains. They march in a tight line following standard army plans. Each soldier carries a Springfield rifle, good for 15 shots a minute. They expect an easy win against the native tribes. But the Sioux and Cheyenne have other ideas. Over 1,500 warriors wait, ready to turn the land into their weapon. The native fighters know this ground well. They use the hills and riverbeds to their advantage. Some hide behind ridges, arrows notched, and rifles loaded. Others ride fast along the Little Bighorn River, kicking up dust. They hit Custer's men from the sides, splitting the soldiers apart. Two Moon later says the warriors move like a storm, striking hard and quick. The U.S. troops fire back, but smoke fills the air fast. Dust rises thick from 1,000 galloping horses. Soon, no one can see more than a few feet ahead. Chaos takes over. One Sioux account tells of soldiers running back, scared like buffalo before a hunt. The tight lines break. Men stumble over rocks and fall into the river. Custer sends about 200 soldiers under Major Reno to attack first, but they meet hundreds of warriors. Reno's group loses 40 men in minutes and retreats to a hill. Reinforcements come later, maybe 150 more troops with wagons. They climb a nearby ridge, hoping to turn the fight. The Sioux and Cheyenne see this and shift fast. They circle the new soldiers, closing in from all sides. Over 800 warriors join this push, riding in waves. History shows Custer makes a big mistake here. He splits his 600 men into 3 groups. One stays with him, about 210 soldiers. Another goes with Reno. The third, under Captain Benteen, has 125 men and lags behind. This leaves them weak against a united native force of 1,500 to 1,800 fighters. Some say Custer's pride blinds him. He ignores scouts who warn of a huge camp ahead. He thinks 600 rifles can beat any tribe, but the Sioux and Cheyenne prove him wrong. They fight smart, not just hard. Crazy Horse leads one charge, cutting through Custer's men like a knife. Chief Gall hits from another angle, pinning soldiers down. The warriors use bows, firing 20 arrows a minute, and old rifles too. They ride in tight circles, confusing the troops. Two Moon calls it a swirl like water around a rock. The soldiers shoot back, dropping maybe 39 Sioux and 7 Cheyenne all day. But the native losses don't slow them. By afternoon, Custer's group of 210 shrinks fast. The land works against the soldiers. Hills block their escape. The river traps them. This is no lucky win for the tribes. It's a lesson in war, taught by people defending their home. Heroes and turning points. The Battle of Little Bighorn rages on June 25, 1876, and certain moments stand tall amid the dust and blood. Over 1,500 Sioux and Cheyenne warriors fight hard, but a few figures shine brighter than the rest. On the U.S. side, one soldier catches every eye. He rides a sorrel horse with a white face and 4 white legs. This man moves fast along the crumbling lines of the 7th Cavalry. He holds a big knife in one hand and yells orders loud enough to cut through the noise. His buckskin shirt flaps as he rides. Some native warriors later say this could be Custer himself, leading his 210 men. Two Moon describes him as fearless, a brave figure in a losing fight. About 40 soldiers stay close to him, trying to hold ground. But arrows and bullets rain down. His group shrinks fast. Close by, another sound rises over the gunfire. A U.S. bugler stands with Custer's men. He blows sharp notes on his horn, giving commands as chaos swallows the soldiers. Over 200 shots a minute fly from the warriors' bows and rifles. The bugler keeps playing, even as men fall around him. Two Moon remembers this sound. It sticks with him, a mark of courage in a hopeless stand. By the end, only 5 horses walk away from Custer's group. The bugler's horn goes quiet, buried with the dead. On the native side, a big moment changes everything. Two Moon sees a chief with long black hair go down. This happens late in the fight, near the hill, where Custer's last 100 men bunch together. The man wears a buckskin shirt and fights, with a knife just like the rider on the sorrel horse. A Sioux warrior fires and the shot hits his head. He falls toward the river, one of the last to die. Two Moon hears others call him Long Hair. Some say this is Custer, the leader of the 7th Cavalry. No one knows for sure. The U.S. Army loses 388 men that day, and papers later claim Custer dies with his troops. But the Sioux don't care about his name. They see a chief fall, and it breaks the soldier's spirit. The 40 men left with him scatter or drop soon after. This death matters. The U.S. troops, already split into 3 weak groups, lose their way without leaders. Reno's 200 men hide on a hill, far from the main fight. Benteen's 125 stay back, too late to help. Custer's 210 face the full force of 1,500 warriors alone. When Long Hair falls, the last 100 soldiers stop fighting as one. Some run for the river, but warriors cut them down. One lone man gets farthest, maybe 300 yards, before a bullet finds him. The Sioux and Cheyenne press harder. Crazy Horse leads a charge with 500 riders, overwhelming the hill. Chief Gall traps another 50 soldiers in a gully. The native fighters don't just win with numbers. They win with heart and will. These moments show the power of the tribes. The sorrel rider and the bugler stand brave for the U.S., but their 600 men can't match the spirit of the Sioux and Cheyenne. Two Moon counts 39 Sioux and 7 Cheyenne. Dead by dusk, a small loss next to 388 soldiers. The fall of Long Hair seals it. This isn't just a battle of weapons. It's a test of who fights for something bigger. The native warriors prove they do. Their land, their families, their future ride with them. And they take the day. Shadows of Victory. The sun sets on June 25, 1876, and the Little Bighorn battlefield grows still. Dust and smoke clear slowly over the Montana plains. The numbers hit hard. All 388 soldiers of the 7th Cavalry lie dead. Their bodies cover the hills and riverbanks. Sioux and Cheyenne warriors walk among them, stripping coats and boots from the fallen. Some use knives to cut the bodies, a fierce custom to make sure no one lives. Over 600 horses lie scattered, too, most shot or crushed in the fight. Only 5 stumble away, the last traces of Custer's force. The cost to the tribes is lighter but real. Two Moon counts 39 Sioux and 7 Cheyenne killed. About 100 more carry wounds, some deep from bullets and bayonets. The victory belongs to the native fighters, but it feels heavy. That night the camp stays quiet, no drums beat, no voices sing. Two Moon sits by his lodge and listens to the silence. Over 1,500 warriors rest after hours of battle, but joy stays far away. Women mend wounds instead of dancing. Children cling to their mothers. 4 Sioux chiefs and 2 Cheyenne leaders join Two Moon the next day. They walk the field to count the dead. One man carries a bundle of sticks. For every U.S. soldier, they pass a stick to another. They tally 388 by the end. The work is grim. Some bodies stay where they fell, like the man with long hair near the river. The Sioux call him a big chief, maybe Custer. They leave his buckskin shirt on him, a rare sign of respect. Why no celebration? The tribes know what comes next. This win stings the U.S. government deep. Within months, they strike back hard. By 1877, over 3,000 more soldiers flood the plains. They burn camps and take horses. The Sioux lose 1,200 lodges in one raid alone. The Cheyenne face starvation as buffalo herds shrink, from 13 million in 1870 to under 1,000 by 1880. The government pushes harder after Little Bighorn. They force Sitting Bull and his people into Canada by 1877. Crazy Horse surrenders that same year with 800 followers. Many end up on reservations, locked on small patches of land. Over 10,000 Sioux live at Pine Ridge by 1881, a far cry from the Free Plains. History books often call this the last stand of the Native Americans. That misses the truth. The Sioux and Cheyenne don't fight for a final gasp. They fight for their rights, their homes, their way of life. On June 25th, 1,500 warriors stand together against 600 soldiers and win. They kill 388 enemies and lose only 46 of their own. This shows their power, not their end. Two Moon and his people mourn because they see the storm coming. The U.S. takes years to crush them, not days. By 1890, over 60% of the Sioux live under strict control. Yet, Little Bighorn proves something. These tribes hold strength the army can't break fast. They force the U.S. to spend millions and lose hundreds more lives in the years after. This isn't a last stand, it's a loud cry for freedom, echoing past the blood and silence. This isn't a last stand, it's a loud cry for freedom, echoing past the blood and silence. The Battle of Little Bighorn stands as proof of Native American courage and skill carved into the Montana plains on June 25, 1876. Over 1,500 Sioux and Cheyenne warriors outsmart and outfight 600 U.S. soldiers, leaving 388 dead in a single day. Their victory shows what unity and heart can do against rifles and arrogance. But the years after turn that triumph bitter. The U.S. government clamps down hard, driving tribes onto reservations with force and hunger. By 1890, over 60% of the Sioux live confined, their freedom a memory. Still, the battle lingers as more than a moment. It's a mark of who these people are. So today we face a real question. How do we keep the spirit of those warriors alive, not just as a page in a book, but as a call to respect their fight for identity and justice in a world that still wrestles with their legacy?